do I really want to do this today? If I was totally left to my own devices, I'd say, I'm not doing it today, I'm just going to skip it, forget about it. But because we're doing it as a team, because we have this ultimate goal, then there's an obligation to the team. It's like any other obligation. When Richard and I were having that conversation about proceeding with an exercise goal, the half marathon, and then Kilimanjaro, we went to the Komodo Club, and that's where we're chatting. And sitting at the same table was Dennis Segato, who's a friend that we know. He was listening in on our conversation. So as soon as we mentioned Kilimanjaro, he piped up and said,
"Count me in. I'm going to do it." And that's how it all started.
Okay, well, are you sure about this or whatever? Because, you know, if his medical history of it had some uncertainty as to whether he would do it. And he said, absolutely.
No, I have no fears whatsoever. This is something that I'm really looking forward to. A friend of mine back in the late 80s, he was a heart transplant recipient, Dave Hillman, and I had decided that we were going to try to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years later and we never did it. And I'm 59 years old. I had my first kidney transplant back in 1979, and I needed another one in 94. So part of the reason I'm climbing is I'm an advocate for KiliKlimb Gift of Life Network. My daughter and I co-founded Windsor-Essex Gift of Life Association here in Windsor-Essex County to get more registries on the consent of organ and tissue donation for Ontario.
I think the other people's stories are much more interesting than mine. You take Richard, who was very overweight. I think he's lost about 52 pounds or so through calorie counting, MyFitnessPal, not really by exercising more. His story is one that he was taking, I think, up to 4 medications for high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and he was on a CPAP machine for sleep apnea. And now that he's lost his weight, he is off of all of the medication. Blood pressure is under control without medication, and he doesn't need a sleep apnea machine anymore.
You can get into shape. You can climb a mountain. You can run in a marathon. You can do anything you want. It doesn't make a difference if you're 20 years old, 30 years old. I'm 50 years old.
I'm here speaking in front of the camera because I'm part of the team that wishes to climb Mount Kilimanjaro in an effort to fundraise for the new acute care hospital for Windsor and Essex County, local health integrated network of Erie St. Clair, as well as raising organ donor awareness. I look forward to the day that all three of us are going to be on the mountain together and to be able to hold up a banner or something that says Windsor Regional Hospital, organ donor awareness.
We're thinking of a slogan, and I think it's not a slogan, it's actually the truth. We're going to climb. We climb because we care.
I'm pumped today. We're leaving now for Kilimanjaro, and hopefully we should be there in a couple hours, and it'll take a couple hours to go through the park registration. So we should be climbing in start to climb in about 4 hours. Physically, mentally, I'm very strong. I'm looking very forward to it. We've got a great group of 16 of us going, and we're going to have a great time, especially when we get to the top. It's going to be a great celebration.
Around. I think I was in the middle.
Can't believe I'm in Africa. We're excited to get to the top and just to get started on see how the first day of hiking goes. They're telling me my backpack is a bit overpacked and heavy, and carried heavy packs before, and hopefully this will be all right. Oh, the tattoo? It's Canada Day. It's July 1st. It's so apropos that we start our climb on Canada's birthday.
It's just a great feeling to be here. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
A little nerve-wracking.
It's great to be here with all our friends too. So it's going to be an awesome day. It's going to be an awesome week.
I'm actually not feeling bad except for the breathing. Really having a hard time with the catching my breath. But the porters are taking my backpack off, make it a little bit easier for me. So it's only the beginning. It's like I said, I feel good. Just really stuffed up, and just at this altitude, and already starting to feel my lungs.
Fortunately, the rest of the group only arrived about a half hour earlier than myself, so it wasn't too bad. James was really helping me climb slower, so I could, the breathing at that point became really good. My heart rate dropped considerably, so I was feeling good. The only thing is, at the end, we did about 10 kilometers our first day. So my leg muscles, and especially all the climbing we did, we came up about 4,000 feet, and they're sore. My muscles in my legs are really hurting. There's a lot of lactic acid buildup. But we get the rest tonight, and tomorrow's not going to be as strenuous a day. It's going to be a shorter walk. I believe today we did over 6 hours of walking, and hopefully we just continue going, and everything's going to turn out all right.
No, not our element at all. We're novices, boy, so we'd never been camping, so I guess no time like the present, like go big or go home. It's interesting, a lot of things to get used to, you know, backpacks and sleeping bags and rolling and unrolling things out. It's a lot of work, but a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun, but definitely feel out of my element at this point.
Really been a long day. We started at 6 o'clock. We were up, had breakfast 7:30. By the time we left, we got to the park here around about lunchtime. By the time we started our climb, it was much harder than I thought. It was very strenuous, and looking around at the porters that were working with us and the guides, you really are in amazement with how much work they do and how fit they are.
So we have a large group of people, and that's the climbers themselves, and another large group, which is the porters and the guides, who help to look after us, right? So certainly the guides and porters encourage us to carry lighter loads, and they'll do some of the carrying for us. Quite clearly, the group is probably divided into three elements. You know, there's the group that's keeping up fairly well, and then the part that's slower, and then there's another smaller group that's even slower, and maybe you're having difficulties, you know, on this first day. That might translate to difficulties in the next 2 or 3 days, and perhaps it may affect your ability to summit.
get you sitting down if we can inside the tent. Get you warmed up and sitting down. So we have Dr. Dante. He knows him as well, so I'm going to get him to talk to him and check on him. Sometimes, so maybe I'll just explain for a second and then you can follow up. So Dennis was walking with James. He'd gotten up above the step part there.
Okay.
Just walking along. He was feeling a bit dizzy. He fell. He hit. So he described it as a flat rock that he hit, but it kind of caught him right here in the ribs. He says he doesn't feel. He feels a bit of ache. He doesn't feel an excruciating pain there.
It's hurt just in that spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not
hurt
cracked.
anywhere else?
No.
Did you hit your head?
No, just the...
When you felt faint, did you lose consciousness?
No.
Okay.
No. But...
And did you hit anywhere else? Your
Nope,
arms,
nope,
your legs?
Nope.
That's the
Just
only place
straight
you
into
had pain?
straight into the rock with my chest.
Okay.
Almost like this.
Okay.
So
Did you hear a
my
crack
arm was...
or anything?
Hmm?
Did you hear a crack or
No,
anything?
no.
Any trouble with your breathing?
No, that's just it.
Like after it happened?
After it happened, for a second or so.
Yeah, how about now?
Now, but it hurts as soon as I go lift it right there.
Okay,
So it could be the muscle too, though.
it could be muscular. Right there, yeah, it's sharp pain.
Yeah.
And when you lift your arm up, it hurts in the same spot? Okay.
It's right in here.
Yeah. If I do this, does that cause pain there?
No.
Okay, good. You do this now.
Oh,
Where does it hurt?
right here.
Where?
The same spot again. But
Same spot?
yeah, it's just when you're pressing that really hurts.
No, I know, but I'm pressing over here. Though.
I know, but I can feel it.
But it
yeah.
hurts there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you broke a rib.
I did?
Yep.
Oh.
Right.
With ribs, one way you tell is, you push from the sides,
Coming out of
push
the
from the
spots,
front, and then the whole barrel ring moves,
Right.
and it's going to hurt right at the spot where the rib is broken, right?
It shouldn't stop me from climbing, should it?
You know, it's
So
like a shattered rib that has a sharp point.
Yeah.
Can always then poke your lungs and cause problems. Let's get some food in you, okay? Because you need fuel, right?
no, you want another banana first?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I think an egg might be great. The other thing that we do have, the advantage of the next campsite is there is an access point there. That is quite easily. So if we decide that it doesn't make sense for you to go on because of your rib, it's easily dealt with at that point in time. Whereas later on, it's much more difficult to try to get out. So you're faced with a long evacuation, going down on stretcher, and all that sort of stuff. But the port is not so comfortable.
All right.
Force them to have the rest of the egg. That just causes them to vomit. So they throw up quite a bit, so that may cause them to be more dehydrated. And we just go up slowly, get to Shira camp, and decide what we're going to do from there.
Right there. Right there. Oh, right there. Oh.
Two extra strength. Pulse, I can feel.
How's your breath?
Just a little dizzy.
Okay.
That's why. Need to stop.
Do you need something to drink or to eat?
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Sure?
Use
Path.
path.
Yep.
To be this close.
Is it possible to get up that ridge? I can't see the bottom.
Yeah, I gave it my best. I can at least say I gave it my best.
So where are we now? Southwest?
The virtue lies in the struggle, not the prize.
That's beautiful.
And that's by Trombley.
The virtue lies in the struggle.
Not the prize.
I don't know.
The only thing I felt bad is I really wanted to go to the top and, make it there, but I knew it could have been the altitude, could have got me, could have been anything, so it wasn't...
What is the top? The top is a summit.
Yes.
You have reached a summit.
Yes, yes.
There is no summit. It keeps going.
Yes. No.
There's summit after summit after summit.
Yeah.
That's why the mountain's a beautiful metaphor for life.
Right. Yeah.
Because everywhere is a message, every sort of step along the way.
I'll be looking up from the lodge. I'll be looking up and saying, okay, they're getting there. So this is a picture of Kylie Grace Cooper Bois, who passed away December 28th, 2014. She was waiting for a liver transplant. She was 9 months old, and I promised her parents and her family that I'd take it to the top of Kilimanjaro in her honor. And if you can do that for me.
I definitely will.
This is the Be a Donor sign. Feeling a little sad not to be that close and not be able to travel. The pain's, it's bearable, but there's no way I can make it to the top, so I have to go back down, and they're going to take some x-rays of the ribs. Pretty sure I've got fractured a rib when I fell yesterday on a rock. Just freak accident. I'll be up there in spirit with them.
maximum allowed is probably 200.
That's almost as good as
You're quite the barista.
Yes.
Of course you did. What do you mean?
Profound.
Why would you lie?
Sorry, I stole your nap.
I'm actually facing Mount Kilimanjaro as I'm shaving right now. The sun just coming over the top of the mountain. Stunning. I'll tell you something. First time camping. First time shaving outside. First time sleeping in a sleeping bag outside. It's amazing. And cold, really cold. We sleep in our clothes, sleep in our hat, sleep in our gloves. And this is not even a cold day.
For what Dennis was able to do was tremendous. Any of us could not feel well tomorrow and not summit. I think his cause is tremendous, and I don't know if Richard told you or not, but before he left, he gave Richard a picture of a little girl and the Ontario flag, and I believe the organ donor banner as well. And so that will be displayed in his honor. I think he did a phenomenal job.
As a matter of fact, in my backpack, I have the picture of the little girl that he wanted to show at the top. And that little girl's picture is actually driving me too. So it's, we gotta make it to the top.
We just climbed up Baranaka Wall. Nice scramble, having to use different handholds. And from here, we can see the peak of Mount Meru. It's a different mountain, shorter, but it just came into view as we came up to the ridge. It's actually gorgeous. And then Kili right behind us. This is great rock climbing.
No fracture break. It looks like it's just bruising at this. That's great news.
Now that it's over?
So that was a great call from Moshi, and basically no fracture, but hey, fractures aren't going to show up for the next 10 days or so. But good news is that he's feeling good. Hakuna Matata seems to be what's going around.
Kilimanjaro, 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 mlima mrefu sana. Kilimanjaro, 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 mlima mrefu sana. Na mawenzi, na mawenzi, na mawenzi, mlima mrefu sana. Na mawenzi, na mawenzi, na mawenzi, mlima mrefu sana. Kilimanjaro, 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 mlima mrefu sana. Na mawenzi, na mawenzi, na mawenzi, mlima mrefu sana. Ewe nyoka, ewe nyoka, ewe nyoka, ewe nyoka, mbona walizunguka, 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 wataka kulila nyama.
Today was a real grind, but it was fun. Sort of brought back memories of rock climbing with my wife when we were in our 20s. So I found it fun that way, except back then we didn't carry a pack on our back at the same time. And then it was up and down a couple of hills and valleys. I shouldn't call them hills. They were mountainsides, ridges or whatever. You know, you come up one and then you realize you got to go all the way to the bottom and then go all the way up, same steepness, and gain in altitude. We have one more climb tomorrow that puts us another few hundred meters in altitude, closer to where the path is to go up to the mountain for the summit push. So tomorrow will be a really tough grind because we'll be coming in, having to take a nap, and then start the summit push at midnight. So it's really 2 climbs all in the same day. I don't want to even think about it. It's going to be hours and hours. And right now, when I look at the top of that mountain, it's like, I'm not sure that the time estimate's correct. It's going to have to be longer. But it's quite a grind. But you know, it's beautiful. They're just full of beautiful vistas and sights here. Every time you turn a corner, you see something new. And this is one heck of an adventure. Just looking at, we're above the clouds. Looking down at the clouds is just amazing.
This morning was gorgeous. Sun was coming over the mountain and you could see it just glazing the bottom there over top of the clouds and just cutting on the top of that other mountain in the distance. Stunning.
So today we climb for 4 hours, come back, have something to eat, get our stuff together, and then at midnight we climb.
Yeah, this time tomorrow we're done. This time tomorrow we're down.
Jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni wakaribishwa Kilimanjaro, hakuna matata. Hakuna matata. Hakuna matata. Jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni wakaribishwa Kilimanjaro, hakuna matata. hakuna matata. Hakuna matata.
We're building a Nookshuk. That's indigenous of Canada. So when you come up and around the mountain, as you're coming up the path, I think it'd be cool to see something that reminds people, or somebody from Canada could see it and go, hey, the Canadians were here. So that's where we're working. Each one of us put a little piece and create a little legacy.
Okay, another day we are doing fine at the High Camp Barafu camp, which is 4,800 meters, and then everybody looks doing good, and we hope everybody they are having a good rest now for waiting to attempt the summit in the middle of the night. So hopefully we'll make it all the way.
These guides are they're amazing, telling you where to step, telling you when to breathe, telling you when to hand over your poles. Without these people, without the organization that they have, we never would have made it up here. I mean, so today was an exhilarating, amazing day. Very challenging.
Today was a bit tough, but it was, gaining some altitude and putting us basically at base camp. We were supposed to be at the Barafu base camp, and thankfully through Chago Tours and Live Out Loud Adventures, they managed to get us up the next, 150, 200 meters to a little plateau above Barafu. So that puts us at about 4,600 meters. So I think we only have about 1,200, 1,300 meters to get to the summit. And looking at this summit from here, it's finally looking very attainable. And going from Barafu to this plateau apparently is the steepest part. That normally, if you left Barafu at midnight, that steepest part would be done in the dark at midnight, and that would make it much more difficult psychologically and physically. So now we have a much easier trail to follow, and it's much more doable, and we've gained a bit more altitude, so we'll be more acclimatized. So right now it looks like it's definitely achievable.
Just picking up a little bit of raise before we go in. As long as you stay in the tent, you're good. As soon as you get out, you're gonna have.
It's a really cold breeze,
you'll be
though.
Frozen. The sun feels so nice and hot when it's on you.
I think it just proves that you have to be insane to want to climb this mountain. Grab the other two on me. I need a Thomas.
It is cold. It's brutally windy tonight, and I got 2 pairs of undergarments, actually 3. My rain wear and a parka. I have an under beanie hat, and I have my balaclava, but a heavy one, and it's still cold. Well, we start at 11 o'clock and we climb the mountain. We should arrive by daybreak at the summit.
Climbed together with Marion and Jessica, our wives, as far as Stella Point. A great accomplishment for both of them, but it really took a lot out of them because of the altitude, so they both headed back. Richard and I are both on our way up to Uhuru, the highest point. The 2 of us are going to make it to the top. It's an exciting event. It's emotional, and we're doing it for Dennis, who tried, and for Gift of Life and Be a Donor.
Yeah,
because it gave him the opportunity, donating a kidney to him gave him the opportunity to try.
Regional
We have to keep going because it's very, very cold. We want to make sure we make it.
All right. We'll see you back at base camp.
Congratulations, guys. Well done. Congratulations. So glad. So glad we got you up here. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Tired.
Oh, I thought you were so tired.
I'm so tired.
It's an amazing thing. People get really.
Of course, I was really hoping to make it to the top, so I've had a lot of time to think about it. And sometimes there were bad thoughts that I didn't make it. I mean, we can't always make it to whatever our goal is, but as long as we try, we can't say that we never attempted it, and I did attempt. I hope others get some little bit of inspiration from it. Sorry, it's just a little hard breathing at this moment. Getting a little teary-eyed too. I just hope people out there realize how much it means to save a life, whether it's through living donation of a kidney or a liver. The liver is the only organ that regenerates itself, so it's really good. And if not, just registering on the list, and hopefully if anything ever happens to you or a loved one, that you're willing to try to save a life, maybe up to 8 lives. That's all I ask. Try to get more registration. Less people dying. I'm sorry.
Dear Richard, Dennis, and Dante, As I prayed this morning, I asked God if He had a message for you and to read this on the summit of Kilimanjaro. He gave me Psalms 2. I can't read that. I will proclaim the Lord decree. He said to me, you are my son. Today I have become your father. A journey began as friends, became a brotherhood on a mountaintop under the loving watch of your father. And as the fellowship together, and as you see all that has been made stretched out above, all around you, receive all the love of the Father, praying for your safety until you return. Warmly, Jeff Watson. Thank you, Jeff.
Kilimanjaro, 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 mlima mrefu sana. Kilimanjaro, 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 mlima mrefu sana. Na mawenzi, na mawenzi, na mawenzi, mlima mrefu sana. Na mawenzi, na mawenzi, na mawenzi, na mawenzi, mlima mrefu sana. Kilimanjaro, 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 mlima mrefu sana. Na mawenzi, na mawenzi, na mawenzi, na mawenzi, mlima mrefu sana.
We have had an absolutely wonderful trip up Kilimanjaro, and once again it's because of you. You really make our trip special. It's all the touch, it's carrying our bags, it's carrying our water, it's the dinner, and it's your faces, and you're singing. You really are glorious.
And you touched our hearts too, right? Very much.
Wamesema na film leo, wamesema wamefurahi kwa kila kitu. Kila kitu ilikuwa babu kubwa, chakula nini, mizigo mwabebea nini na nini, na pia vile vile mmewagusa roho zao.
It's nice that Canada and Tanzania can come together as one. We will go home with very happy memories.
Wakaribishwa Kilimanjaro, hakuna matata. Kianza Machame, hakuna matata. Kienda Nashira, hakuna matata. Kienda Baranko, hakuna matata. Kienda Karanga, hakuna matata. Ukienda Nastella, hakuna matata. Ukienda Uhuru, hakuna matata. Jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni wakaribishwa Kilimanjaro, hakuna matata.